Cristiano Ronaldo walked into the Uzbekistan match under more pressure than at any point in his 41-year-old career. Critics said he was done. Portugal fans were panicking after a 1-1 draw with DR Congo. The whole world was watching. And then, in the 6th minute, Ronaldo answered every single person who had written him off. The World Cup was not ready for what came next. Let's go back to where this story really starts. Because the draw against DR Congo wasn't just a bad result. It was a warning sign that had Portugal supporters genuinely worried. Portugal went into that game as heavy favorites. And Ronaldo, their captain and talisman, had everything to prove. But the match ended 1-1 and Ronaldo didn't score. In fact, he hadn't scored in a major international final in 10 full matches. That is a run that stretched back long enough for people to seriously ask whether the greatest goal scorer in men's international football history had finally run out of answers at the biggest stage. Ronaldo holds the record for international goals for any man in the history of football. He has scored in Champions League finals. He has scored in Premier League title races. He has scored in some of the biggest matches the sport has ever seen. And yet, heading into the Uzbekistan game, he had gone 10 consecutive major international final appearances without a single goal. For any other player, that run would barely register. For Ronaldo, it was the headline every single time Portugal played. The criticism was everywhere. Pundits questioned his age. Former players questioned his fitness. Fans questioned whether Portugal should even be starting him. Saudi Pro League, they said. Not the same level. Not sharp enough anymore. The narrative being built around Cristiano Ronaldo in the weeks before the Uzbekistan match was the kind of narrative that sticks to a career permanently if the player doesn't answer it. And heading into a must-win game against Uzbekistan, the pressure on Ronaldo was as heavy as anything he has carried in his career. That matters, because what happened next wasn't just a good performance. It was one of the most loaded moments in World Cup history. 6th minute. Ronaldo gets the ball in the box. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't overthink it. He puts it away. And in that single moment, he became the first player in the history of the FIFA World Cup to score at 6 different tournaments. Let that sink in for a second. 6 different World Cups. The tournament started in 1930. Hundreds of players have played in it. Even the legends of the game, the ones who defined what it meant to play on the biggest stage, never got to 6. Ronaldo just did something that took 96 years of World Cup football to happen, and that no one else has ever come close to doing. The years those legendary players were collecting their World Cup memories. Ronaldo was still years away from being born for some of those tournaments, and now, at 41, he has done what none of them could. But here is the thing. He wasn't done. His 10th World Cup goal in total across his career, and that 10th goal meant something specific. It moved him past Eusébio as Portugal's all-time leading scorer at the World Cup. Now, if you don't know who Eusébio is, here is why that matters. Eusébio is the greatest footballer Portugal ever produced before Ronaldo. He led Portugal to 3rd place at the 1966 World Cup in England. He finished as the tournament's top scorer with 9 goals. He wore the number 10, and he played with a power and a grace that made him one of the most celebrated players of his entire generation. For 60 years, no Portuguese player came close to touching his World Cup record. Ronaldo just passed him, and he did it at 41 years old, in the first half. In a game that started with half the football world telling him he should step aside, Portugal ended the match 5-0. It was a complete, total clean sheet performance that answered every question raised by the DR Congo draw in the most direct way possible. Bruno Fernandes was sharp. The movement off the ball was better. Portugal looked like a completely different team from the side that couldn't beat DR Congo. But the story of this match was Ronaldo. It was always going to be Ronaldo. After the final whistle, he didn't walk away quietly. He spoke. He looked at the cameras and said he was back. Not in a careful diplomatic way. Directly. Clearly. Ronaldo declared he was back. That is the kind of statement that only lands one of 2 ways. Either it becomes a legend, or it becomes the thing pundits replay to embarrass you. And right now, after what he just did against Uzbekistan, it lands like a statement of fact. And if you are watching this and thinking, this is just one game, remember where we started this video. The version of Ronaldo that walked into the Uzbekistan match was the version everyone had already buried. The version that couldn't score in 10 straight major finals. The version people said was too old, too slow, too far past his best. That version just put 2 goals past Uzbekistan in the first half and walked away with 2 pieces of World Cup history tucked in his pocket. That is not nothing. That is the whole story. Let's also talk about the age factor, because this does not get said enough. Ronaldo turned 41 in February. He is the oldest player at this World Cup to score a goal. He is playing at an age when most footballers have been retired for a decade. The average career for a professional footballer ends somewhere around 35. What Ronaldo is doing right now is not just unusual. It is genuinely without comparison in the modern game. He has scored 6 World Cup goals since turning 35. At the age when most players are doing television punditry or coaching badges, Ronaldo is still putting the ball in the net at the World Cup. So where does this leave Portugal? Portugal were already losing by the time he got on the pitch, and they couldn't turn it around. The tournament ended, and for months afterward, the argument raged about whether starting Ronaldo would have changed the result. Nobody knows for certain, but nobody forgot the image of Ronaldo walking off the pitch in tears, his World Cup dream slipping away. He came back anyway. Committed to this tournament, committed to one more attempt. This time, nobody is talking about dropping Ronaldo. After today, nobody could. Here is the cliffhanger this tournament is now sitting on. Ronaldo has already made World Cup history. The 6 tournament record belongs to him. The Portugal all-time scoring record belongs to him. The drought is over. The critics have been quieted, but a record is not a trophy. Portugal have never won the World Cup. And the question that every Portugal supporter is now asking, quietly, nervously, because they don't want to jinx any, is whether this might finally be the time. Ronaldo is 41. This is his last World Cup. He has said so himself on multiple occasions. When this tournament ends, his chapter at the World Cup ends with it. So the real story is not the 2 goals against Uzbekistan. The real story is what happens next. Whether Ronaldo can do this when the opponent is not Uzbekistan. Whether Portugal can build on this performance when the pressure is completely different. Whether the version of Ronaldo that showed up in that 6th minute, the version the World Cup was absolutely not ready for, whether that version shows up again when Portugal need him most. That is the question. And we are watching one of the greatest sporting careers in history play out its final chapter in real time. The World Cup was not ready for this version of Ronaldo. The question now is whether Ronaldo is ready for what the World Cup throws at him next.